From viral chaos to poetic genius, XXXTentacion lived fast, loved hard, and left a legacy that echoes louder than his demons. To some, he was a troubled soul who spiraled too far. To others, a misunderstood genius who poured pain into poetry. This is not just a story of controversy, it's a portrait of evolution, vulnerability, and the price of being raw in a polished world. Born Jahseh Dwayne Ricardo Onfroy on January 23, 1998. In Plantation, Florida, XXXTentacion's story began in pain. Raised by a single mother and often passed between homes and shelters, Jahseh struggled with anger, isolation, and instability from a young age. At just 6, he stabbed a man for attacking his mom. Expelled from multiple schools, his fights were frequent, but so was his hunger to express. Music wasn't just an escape, it was survival. His pain became poetry, his silence sound, and before long the world would hear him scream. While locked up in a juvenile detention center, Jahseh met Ski Mask, the slump god of Ban that would spark a musical movement. In 2014, under the name XXXTentacion, meaning unknown temptation, he dropped raw, lo-fi tracks on SoundCloud, screams, distortion, confessionals. It wasn't polished, it wasn't clean, but it was real. Look at me, exploded. Suddenly this mysterious, violent-sounding teen from Florida was trending. Viral chaos followed, mosh pits, bloody shows, arrests. He was labeled a menace but couldn't be ignored. He wasn't chasing fame. He was daring the world to look. As XXXTentacion's music climbed the charts, his legal troubles pulled him into the headlines and into public outrage. In late 2016, X was arrested for multiple charges, including aggravated battery of a pregnant woman. Fans defended him, critics condemned him, and the internet lit up in debate. While under house arrest, claimed innocence and turned inward, releasing music that shocked in its softness and sadness. Tracks like Jocelyn Flores and Revenge weren't violent, they were vulnerable. His reputation was shattered, but his music more emotional and experimental than ever was, beginning to change everything. By 2017, XXXTentacion was no longer just a SoundCloud rebel, he was evolving, and the world was starting to notice. His debut album, 17, shocked everyone. No screaming, no distortion, just stripped-down pain, haunting melodies, and whispered sorrow. Critics, once dismissive, called it a breakthrough. In just 22 minutes of music, X shared depression, loss, and suicidal thoughts. He wasn't glorifying the darkness, he was begging for light. X wasn't just redeeming his image, he was rewriting what rap could be. Sadness became sonic. Vulnerability became powerful. The world finally caught up with his sound, and XXXTentacion became a chart-topping phenomenon. In 2018, his album debuted at number 1. Songs like Moonlight, Changes, and Sad became anthems for a generation struggling with isolation, identity, and emotional chaos. Despite rising wealth with an estimated net worth of over $5 million, X said he wasn't chasing riches. He wanted to build a legacy. He created a foundation, planned youth centers, and even teased a genre-breaking rock album. But time wasn't on his side. His story would end just as the next chapter was starting. On June 18, 2018, The music stopped, but the echo only grew louder. While leaving a motorcycle dealership, Jahseh was ambushed and fatally shot in a robbery gone wrong. He was only 20. The world reacted in shock. Some mourned a visionary. Others criticized his past. But nearly everyone agreed a voice this raw, this young, and this powerful had been silenced too soon. In death his music surged. Streaming numbers broke records. His words, once controversial, became prophecy, and his pain became poetry to millions. Gone, but not forgotten. X had become more than an artist, he was now a symbol. Even in death, XXXTentacion continues to divide and inspire a legacy both powerful and polarizing. Musically, his fingerprints are everywhere. Artists today blend vulnerability, rage, and genre fluidity, just like he did. He paved the way for SoundCloud to become mainstream. But the controversy never left him. Allegations of abuse, legal troubles, and a violent past continue to stir debate. Can you separate the art from the artist? Some say he was changing. He apologized publicly, sought therapy, and tried to lead others toward peace. But was it enough? His name still sparks debate, but his influence, undeniable. What do you leave behind when your life ends before it even begins? XXXTentacion left behind more than music, he left a movement. His foundation, launched posthumously by his mother, supports battered women, at-risk youth, and mental health outreach mirroring the causes he once struggled with himself. X's short life was filled with chaos, but also with growth. He transformed his pain into purpose, even if only for a moment. He was a storm. He was a light. He was a contradiction. And most of all, he was real.